You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Quick question. Do your end users always, and I mean always without exception, work on company-owned devices and IT-approved apps? I didn't think so. So my next question is, how do you keep your company's data safe when it's sitting on all those unmanaged apps and devices? 1Password has an answer to this question: Extended Access Management. 1Password Extended Access Management helps you secure every sign-in for every app on every device, because it solves the problems traditional IAM and MDM can't touch. And it's now available to companies with Okta and Microsoft Entra, and in beta for Google Workspace customers. Check it out at onepassword.com/cyberwire. That's onepassword.com/cyberwire.
The word is encryption. Spelled E as in enigma, N as in the Navajo code talkers, C as in cipher, R as in Room 40, Great Britain's first cryptanalysis section in World War I, Y as in the Yaksta case, a mysterious unsolved German code spelled Y-O-G-T-Z-E, P as in polyalphabetic cipher, and shun, to push away. Definition: the process of converting plain text into an unrecognizable form or secret code to hide its true meaning. Example sentence: every time a person uses an ATM or makes an online purchase with a smartphone, encryption is used to protect the transaction. Origin and context. The idea of sending messages to your friends but preventing your enemies from reading those same messages has been around since the world was young. According to the Thales Group, the Spartans around 600 BC used a device called a cytale to code plain text into encrypted messages. In order for the Spartan friends to decode the messages, they needed an identical cytale in terms of width and length on the other end. By 60 BC, the Romans used a simple substitution cipher, where they encoded messages by shifting the letter by some agreed-upon number. For example, if the number was 3, the plain text of the letter A becomes an encoded letter D. The plain text B becomes an encoded E, and so forth. Fast forward to 1553, Giovan Battista Balasso introduces the idea of a secret key or password that two parties would need to encrypt and decrypt messages. By 1917, an American named Edward Hebern invents an electromechanical machine in which the key is embedded in a rotating disk. The next year, 1918, German engineer Arthur Scherbius invents the Enigma machine by using more than one rotor, and the German military adopts it to send coded transmissions during World War I and World War II. By the 1970s, IBM invented a block cipher. Essentially, instead of using multiple letters like the Enigma rotors, the key is an entire block of text. The U.S. government adopted this IBM block cipher called the Data Encryption Standard, or DES, in 1976 and used it until it was broken in 1997. In 1976, though, Whitfield Diffie and Martin Hellman created the Diffie-Hellman Key Exchange, making it possible to send encrypted messages without having to share a secret key beforehand. By 2000, the Advanced Encryption Standard, or AES, replaced DES as the standard by being faster and having the ability to use much longer keys. Nerd reference. In my favorite hacker movie of all time, War Games, the main character David, played by Matthew Broderick, tries to break into a gaming company to play their unreleased games. He asks his geek friends Jim, played by Mari Chaikin, and Malvin, played by the perennial movie nerd Eddie Deason, for advice. And Malvin explains that David will never be able to break the new data encryption standard.
Jim, how do I get into that system? I want to play those games.
You're not supposed to see any of that stuff. That system probably contains a new data encryption algorithm. You'll never get in there.
Hey, I don't believe that any system is totally secure. I bet you Jim could get in.
Yeah, I bet you couldn't.
I bet you he could.
Well, you'll never get in through the frontline security, but you might look for a back door.
Since the movie came out in 1983, just 7 years after the DES standard was adopted by the U.S. government, it shows how the movie producers were right on top of the latest technological advancements in communications. And just another reason that I love this movie so much. Word Notes is written by Nyla Genoe, executive produced by Peter Kilpie, and edited by John Petrick and me, Rick Howard. The mix, sound design, and original music have all been crafted by the ridiculously talented Elliot Peltzman. Thanks for listening.
And now, a word from our sponsor. The Johns Hopkins University Information Security Institute is currently seeking qualified applicants for its innovative Master of Science in Security Informatics degree program. Study alongside world-class interdisciplinary experts and gain unparalleled educational, research, and professional experience in information security and assurance. Interested U.S. citizens should consider the National Science Foundation's CyberCore Scholarship for Service program, which covers tuition, required fees, university-sponsored health insurance, and a $6,000 annual professional development allowance, as well as providing a $37,000 additional annual stipend. Learn more at cs.jhu.edu/MSSI.